Hello, and welcome to Grad School 101, Career Planning. And today we're going to be talking about how to really prepare for your career after grad school early on, ideally within the first year or the second year. And my name is Sarah Tynen. I am employed by the graduate school at University of Colorado Boulder to aid students in their professional development. And so I run a lot of publication workshops, time management workshops, and other kinds of seminars and studies on how graduate students can be the most successful they can be. And one of those things is career preparation, and that's one of the things that we'll be talking about today. First of all, for this presentation, a lot of the information that I'm giving is from this book. The Professor is In by Karens Spreadsheet. Sorry. So first of all, I highly recommend that you buy the book. It's not very expensive. On the Kindle version, it's only $10. And it's just packed full of really useful information for both early graduate students, people on the job market, and for people who are leaving academia. And you can also read her blog. I have the link here. She has a lot of free information on how to work the conference, what publications are most useful, how to negotiate salary, things like that. So that's another really great resource, and I do link to a few of her articles throughout this presentation and within the PowerPoint. This pause recording thing is just going to be here, I think, in the middle of my presentation. Okay, so the four major tasks that I encourage everyone to think about when they're thinking about preparing for their career after grad school are networking, skill building, and these days skill building is primarily focused around data analytics, especially technical skills. That might be coding, it might be GIS, learning different types of qualitative and quantitative data analytics can be very helpful. So one of the things you might want to do is start training yourself in those skills. Start taking classes, start taking courses, either online or on your campus, that will enable you to learn some of those skills while you're still a student, because once you go on the job market, those will be quite helpful. Publishing, this can be a course paper, it can be a conference paper, it can be a master's thesis, but it is really key to publish early and often. I do recommend that every grad student publish at least one first authored or single authored publication by the time that they defend their dissertation. And since it takes quite a long time for those publications to actually get out, it is important to start this process early on. And it's also good to publish in non-academic sources as well. If you have interesting research, find a way to publish in a magazine, publish in a newspaper, even an online blog or an online magazine. It can be helpful just to show your engagement with the community and show your commitment to science communication. And finally, grant writing. We all want money, so there's a lot of incentive to apply for grants. You want to apply early and often to any grant that you can, not only because it'll help you with your graduate career, but more importantly, it will show your future employer that you have a skill in grant writing. Nonprofits, public institutions, they are looking for people who can help them write grants. So this is another skill that you can develop by applying for as many grants as possible. Okay, so here is some of Dr. Karen's advice. And this comes from pages 55 to 56 in her book. And again, I highly encourage you to read it. It's an excellent read. She's a great writer. It's funny and it's entertaining. There's also an Audible version. But some of her advice specifically for early in graduate school to attend conferences. This is very scary. I have a link here to one of her blog posts on how to attend a conference. And what she says is 2 months out from the conference, look in the program, find people who are in your field, who you are interested in talking to. Ask them to set up a coffee date, a coffee break time to meet with you. Some of them won't respond, but the people who do respond, they will meet with you about your research and just ask them, what's the current project you're working on? And do you have any advice for me? And they will undoubtedly ask you about your own research, and they'll have some advice for you that will be helpful about your research, some new ideas, some literature you could read. And that's a great way to network as well. Read the job ads in your field. There are several listservs that you can get a hold of. Ask your colleagues, ask your advisors which listservs you should get on to look at the job ads. These are probably your association listservs, the Chronicle of Higher Education and Higher Ed Jobs. Those kinds of websites have daily emails with lists of jobs that are coming out. Read the job ads. What are the skills that your field is looking for? And how can you start building some of those technical skills that they might need now? Maintain your CV. So this is also a link to an article by Karen Kalski on how to build your CV. So her suggestion is that each month you add one line to your CV. And it sounds like a lot, and it is for an early graduate student. But it's a good rule of thumb. Seek out opportunities for grants, classes to teach, guest lectures, talks on campus. Reach out to the research institutes on campus, whatever that may be, that are related to your field, and see if they have any weekly colloquiums or lunch talk series that you could present at. Work on your manuscripts, review for journals, go to conferences. But she emphasizes, and she says, quote, "The key was to keep my CV in mind at all times. When I had to make choices about how to spend my time, which requests to accept, when to say no, and so on, I thought about my CV, and I thought about the line. Did I want the line? Did I need the line? Was it a good line?" It was an amazingly clarifying exercise. So the key here is thinking about how do you want to be spending your time? Is how you're spending your time contributing to your CV in a good way or not? Apply for grants. Seek mentors widely. Mentors in your field, at your campus, but also mentors outside of your institution, both peers and people who are advanced in the field. That might involve some cold emailing. It might involve friends of friends, colleagues of colleagues, former students of your advisors, but seek those people out. Finally, she suggests that you strategize your writing projects to ensure that you have at least one first authored publication by the time you go on the job market. So what that means is everything that you write for a class, everything that you write for your dissertation, keep it in mind as a future publication. Dr. Karen also has some advice on the 6 attributes of a tenure-track job candidate. So she has these 6 attributes. And what I would like you to do when you have time is to go back to this part of the webinar and I will also link this document to the next to the recording of this, but take some time to write out for each of these things where you're at and where you're going, where you would like to go. So I had some questions when I did this presentation earlier today. Some of these things are a little bit more self-explanatory, but the professionalism piece and the collegiality piece, those are more soft skills. And those are really hard for introverts. And a lot of academics are introverts, and these things don't come naturally to us. But if you can start early on presenting yourself in a professional way, dressing professionally every single day, asking your peers to proofread your work so that your writing is free of grammatical errors, treating yourself as an adult and as a working professional adult each and every day so that when you do go out onto the job market, it's not a foreign concept to you. These things do take practice and they do take time and they are hard and they are scary, but you can do them if you are a little bit more intentional about the way that you carry yourself. Collegiality, the advice that I gave my students earlier today who were asking about this, there are a few things you can do. One is get a hobby where you are interacting with other people on a regular basis. This might be going to meetup.com and joining a hiking group. It might be, or joining a gaming group. There are, one of the things can be going to conferences, presenting, networking at the departments throughout campus. When I say that, I mean reaching out to other departments on campus that are related to your field, asking people if they are interested in co-authoring or interested in meeting with you just over coffee, just to talk and have that interaction. I wrote on mine, join an improv group. That's something that I got advice on yesterday was if you join an improv comedy group, that can be a great way to learn how to express your emotions and work with other people. Make an effort to kind of hone those skills in whatever way you want. Finally, you have a 5-year plan. So this means both a 5-year plan in your PhD program, and then also when you go on to the job market, you want to show your employers that you have a 5-year plan for after they hire you, because they are going to be asking you about your next project. They are going to be asking you about your next publications, and they want to know that you have a clear plan so that when they hire you, you're ready to publish. You're ready to start publishing right away. That's what they want to hear. So this is also from Dr. Karen. This is from her book, and she has this very simple spreadsheet that you can make on Excel yourself with the year in the left column and then the months in the top. This is a great way to plan out some of those major deadlines, those major goals, those major milestones, the conferences, the dissertation, and the grants. When is what due, and when am I going to be continually working on my stuff to do my field work, to do my archival work, to do my dissertation work, my writing, not every single detail, but those broad 5-year goals that you have in mind to go for this. Now, not all of us are going to be looking for a job in academia. So you might be looking for emphasizing networking, emphasizing technical skills over some of the more academic goals. That's fine. But having a clear goal and a clear plan for exactly when those things are going to happen will keep you from floundering and wasting time as you're going through, because it is easy to slip through the cracks and to kind of lose track of some of these broader goals, lose track of what's really important, which are kind of these broader career plans, and having an outline and a timeline of when you're going to do all of those things will be really helpful. And it will show your employer that you are organized as well. Okay, so those are the main things I have. I really encourage everyone to click on the links that I have in this PowerPoint. I will link the PowerPoint to the YouTube video, and I encourage everyone to check out those resources and take some time to really sit down and think about those 6 attributes of a tenure track candidate, and think about what you would like for your career and for your life, and what you can do to make sure that that happens. So again, I'm Sarah Tynen from the Graduate School, and I am more than happy to meet with you one-on-one to discuss any of these things. So it was a pleasure getting to talk to you a little bit more about this stuff. Please contact me if you have any questions. It's sarah.tynen at colorado.edu. That's sarah.tynen at colorado.edu. Thank you very much and have a great day.